we saved the best for last. Marina Kosova has got the business update.
Thank you, guys. Well, let's start with Russia will not make concessions over its tax regime for car makers to gain membership of the World Trade Organization. Under the current rules, manufacturers which make more than 60% of a vehicle in Russia receive financial concessions. And this is intended to boost local production of cars. And Prime Minister Putin says the system is not open to negotiation.
Our partners insist that we drop the requirement of 60% localization and production of 300,000 cars a year. We have warned that our position cannot be changed, that it's a red line we cannot cross because we cannot abandon the interests of domestic producers.
Separately, Prime Minister Putin says there are plans to build a second line of the Eastern Siberia-Pacific Ocean pipeline, the system for exporting crude oil to Asian markets. He also suggested another line could be added to the Nord Stream gas pipeline, which goes under the Baltic Sea and terminates in Germany. But he gave no time frame for either project. Now, Russia's largest bank is expanding into Europe. Sberbank has agreed to buy the Eastern European unit of Austria's Volksbank International, and it's the first acquisition of its kind by a Russian bank. And business artist Tatiana Polikova has all the details for us.
This purchase goes in line with Sberbank's ambitious plans to become an international banking group. The head of bank, German Gref, says that by 2014, Sberbank plans to generate up to 7% of its income from international operations. Gref also says that he believes in the great potential of those Eastern European countries where Volksbank has its branches. He says that the banking market of such countries as Czech Republic or Slovakia will be generating up to 95 billion euros by 2015, and it's more than Russia's potential. So Sberbank just wants to use this Eastern European unit of Volksbank as a platform for its own international operations.
Volksbank is among the top 10 lenders in the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Croatia, and Bosnia. This is a traditional banking business. There are no complicated structures or toxic assets. There's no dependence on securities operations and almost no big corporate clients. It could be called the bank for medium-sized and small business.
So Sberbank plans to finalize the deal by the end of this year, and it's just the beginning. German Gref says that they are already looking at some banking assets in other parts of Europe and in Turkey.
Now let's have a look at the ruble exchange rate. The Russian central bank decreased the ruble rate against the US dollar by 6 kopecks, but the Bank of Russia strengthened the Russian currency against the troubled euro by 8 kopecks. And Russian markets closed flat after a difficult week. Volumes were down as many people were away on holiday and direction remained unclear. Let's take a look at some individual movers on the MICEX. The banking sector is doing well. VTB went up by over 1.5%. The bank is currently figuring out the details of the purchase of Bank of Moscow. Sberbank was also up after news of its acquisition of Austria's Volksbank International in Eastern Europe. And the country's biggest company, Gazprom, went up by 0.3%, helped by gains in the oil price. Well, you could soon be paying more for a cup of tea. The price of black tea could increase as much as 14% by the end of the year. Increased drought fears in some tea-producing countries and worldwide demand growth are the main factors for the potential jump. And Russia is the world's largest tea importer and it consumes up to 180,000 tons annually. And despite the possible price hike potentially curbing tea consumption, the country has seen a steady increase of about 2% annually over the last 5 years. Now, Russians are returning to foreign shores. A report by Citibank says the amount of money spent abroad grew by 28% year-on-year, reaching pre-crisis levels. Consumer confidence is improving as the economy stabilizes, as Michael Kravchenko reports.
Now, if only a year ago Russians were cost-cutting when going abroad, if at all going abroad, this year is a completely different story. A report by Citibank says that Russians have spent 40 billion rubles year on year while going abroad, which is a return to pre-crisis levels of 2007. Now, where's the increased consumer confidence coming from? High oil prices.
General impression that Russia has bounced back. to pre-crisis level. General impression that, with the cost of oil particularly at the range where it is, with a pretty much stable microeconomic situation in Russia, people feel more confident.
The report only takes into account credit card payments abroad. This means that a lot of people are unaccounted for. Russia is notoriously known for not being a credit card nation and preferring to spend cash. That said, major cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg are flux with Russians using cashless payment systems. The most popular destination this year for Russians is the USA. Most interestingly, because that the weakening dollar and the strengthening ruble is giving Russians even more buying power.
Solving other people's problems can make you happy, apparently. That's according to a superjob.ru survey where psychologists have been deemed the happiest employees in Russia. Almost 90% of them are completely happy with their work. Sales managers, architects, and marketing managers are also on the list of those professions which put a smile on your face. In contrast, IT specialists and security men are the unhappiest, with less than a quarter of them satisfied with their job.
I kind of know why that is. The IT guys were the ones the smartest kids in class normally, the ones that knew math and then in the office they usually call the IT person. We've all seen the IT crowd, they never have a name, they're just sort of summoned in to switch your computer on for you because clearly you didn't do as well as them in school. But the security guys, I feel sorry for.
Do you? Oh, come on.
Well, they get all of the nastiness out there.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you consider bouncers, for example, in a club, security guards, right? They're always standing there thinking that they have all the power.
But not really. Drunk people yell at them, screaming that they need to come in, that they will find them.
But you have to agree that sometimes they abuse their power, if you will. They just feel like they have a little bit of power, so they say, oh, you can't come in. Don't you feel like that?
I feel I'm an amateur psychologist and that you both should talk to me and we'll discuss these pent-up angers that you have.
Okay, well, let's go to a club tonight and figure it out.
Let's do that. And deliberately try not to get in.
Yeah.